Hello, how are you? I hope good. This week on The Positive Habit, I am talking about something very important. I always say that because it always is very important. Our positive mental health is essential for so many aspects of our life, as I'm sure you already know, in terms of our physical well-being, our emotional, our ability to live and flourish in the world to the best of our ability. So one of the themes, if you like, that I talk about in my book, The Self-Love Habit, is the ego and what it happens when our ego, if you like, is in charge. Now, we all have an ego. Yes, we do. It's very hard not to have an ego because an ego is, in a sense, like, our more subjective sort of preferences, if you like. I like pink lipstick. Maybe you don't, for example. But it is, again, about how do we over-identify with our ego. And what happens when the ego is in charge? Then we're really in trouble because we're led by the ego, and the ego has two things that it wants to do. It wants to prove itself in terms of through achievement and through what it owns. And it's also the second thing that really is very dysfunctional, if you like, about the ego, is that it is totally reliant on how it feels other people perceive you, the persona, in terms of reputation, in terms of how it feels it's going to be judged. It can be competitive, it can be, make a lot of comparisons, etc. So what I want you to do this week, and there's an exercise in the book that I think is actually really helpful in terms of, like, it's just a really good checklist, if I do say so myself again. And that is to go through it and sort of think, okay, if this is what's happening, perhaps it's my ego that's in charge here today, as opposed to my true self, my higher self, or the beholder that is much more the essence of who we are without ego. So the first thing is always wanting to get your way. It would be one of the things I would be very sort of aware of. Just notice it, kind of like that tendency arising, like, no, I want to see this film, not that film, for example. How flexible are you in always wanting to get your way? Feeling envious of other people's success, feeling jealous or left out of other people's relationships. Jealousy can be a very hard emotion to carry, and it is quite often coming from a place of insecurity. Being super competitive and not content even when you do win. And that's what's really sad. It's like, in the sense of the ego's in charge and you do very well and you get whatever it might be, and there's still a kind of deflated feeling. And that's because the ego can never, ever be satisfied. So it doesn't matter, again, what you achieve, you're going to be left with that kind of empty feeling. Becoming defensive if someone challenges you. There's so much in this. Wow. But I'm going to keep going because I'll talk more about it on my Insta Live on Wednesday. Measuring yourself on your latest achievement, not listening to others, just waiting to speak. And consistently bringing conversation back to yourself. Again, the ego pushing through, not really listening to others, but just waiting for a gap to form so that you can jump in and maybe, show off something about yourself or boast, or, for example. So, thank you for watching. I do hope this has given you something to think about. It's something we all need to keep in check. We all have an ego, but it's like, who's in charge, who's in the driving seat, and how can we continue to boost our mental health to operate and to bring out the best of ourselves every day. And that is at the heart of the work I do. So thank you for watching. No ego here. If you don't watch, I don't mind. Joke. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye.